Hello students, let's do unitary method exercise 8b. Exercise 8b is on page number 106. We are with question 7. If 32 apples weigh 2 kilograms 800 grams, how many apples will there be in a box containing 35 kgs of apples? So here we are given the weight. Okay, so we are saying that 32 apples are there and the weight of those 32 apples is so much. Now they want to know how many apples there'll be if the weight of the apples is 35 kgs. So we are asked to find the number of apples. So we start our statement with number of apples and write the first statement. Number of apples weighing 2 kilograms 800 grams is 32. So 32 apples are there and the weight of those 32 apples is 2 kilograms 800 grams. Now can you see that the units are different here, kilograms and grams. Let's convert it to 1 unit. So here in 1 kilogram we have 1000 grams. So in 2 kilograms, that's what is given to us in the question, isn't it? 1 kilogram 1000 grams, 2 kilograms 2000 grams. So here 2 kilograms we've got 2000 grams. Now here we have 800 grams also. So we have to add that 800 grams. So now what does this become? 2800 grams. So we have converted this. So this is 2800 grams. So what do we see here? Let's read this statement once more. Number of apples weighing 2800 grams is 32. So 32 apples are there. The weight is 2800 grams. Now we need to find number of apples weighing 1 kg. That is, when there are 2 kgs 800 grams, there were 32 apples. So if there's only 1 kg, suppose the weight is only 1 kg, how many apples are there? Now this also, let's convert it to grams. Here we know 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams. So this 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. So we are going to find out. So in 2800 grams, we have 32 apples. So for 1000 grams, it's going to be less. That means we have to divide 32 by 2800. So 32 divided by 2800. Let's put this in the form of a fraction. 32 by 2800. We'll leave it as it is so that we can work it out with the last statement. Now let's go back to the question. How many apples will there be in a box containing 35 kgs of apples? So now we know for 2 kilograms 800 grams. Then we know for 1 kilogram. Now we have to find for 35 kilograms. So let's write number of apples weighing 35 kilograms. So again 35 kilograms we are going to convert to grams. So 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. So 35 kilogram will be 35 into 1000. That is 35,000. So let's write it here. So this is 35,000 grams. So now 1 kilogram has 32 by 2800 grams. Now 35,000 grams will be much more, isn't it? 1000 grams is so much. So 35,000 grams will have more apples. So this is apples. This is not grams, this is apples. So that means here we have to multiply this by this. So let's multiply 32 by 2800 into 35,000. 35,000. Remember, since 1000 grams has so many apples, 35,000 grams will have more. That's why we are multiplying. Now, when it is multiplication, you can cancel. Let me cancel 2 zeros here and 2 zeros there. Now, what else can you cancel? We can cancel 28 and 350 by 7, isn't it? 7 4s are 28, 7 5s are 35 and put the 0. So that's 50. Now I can cancel 4 and 32. 4 8s are 32. So this is 4 1s are 4, 4 8s are 32. Now I can multiply my numerators. So what do I get? 8 into 5 is 40. So 8 into 50 is 400. So what have we found? We have found the number of apples weighing 35 kgs. is 400. So this is 400 apples. So in the box, when you have 400 apples, the weight will be 35 kgs. So the answer here is 400 apples. Question 8. A truck uses 20 liters of diesel for 240 kilometers. How many liters will be needed for 1200 kilometers? So how many liters? So we need to start by saying the liters of diesel needed for 240 kilometers. This is given to us in the question. Diesel needed for 240 kilometers is 20 liters. So we need to find how many liters of diesel will be needed for 1200 kilometers. 240 kilometers is given. We have to find for 1200 kilometers. First by finding for 1 kilometer. So diesel needed for 1 kilometer. For 240 kilometers, it's 20 liters. So 1 kilometer is going to be less than that. That means we are going to divide 20 divided by 240. We'll write it in the form of a fraction. So 20 by 240. We can cancel the zeros. So we have 2 by 24. Even that can be reduced. 1 to 1s are 2, 2 12s are 24. So here 1 by 12 liters. Okay. 1 by 12 liters of petrol for 1 kilometer. Now we need to find for 1200 kilometers. So diesel needed for 1200 kilometers. For 1 kilometer, it's 1 by 12 liters. So for 1200 kilometers, it's going to be much more. So that means it is multiplication. That means we are going to multiply 1 by 12 into 1200. So 1 by 12 into 1200. So let's do that multiplication here clearly. So 1 by 12 into 1200. Here you can see that we can cancel 12 and 1200, isn't it? Now 12 ones are 12. Here also 12 ones are 12. Then we have two zeros, 1, 2. So we've cancelled. Now multiply the numerators. 1 into 100 is 100. So diesel needed for 1200 kilometers is 100 liters. So we need 100 liters if you have to go on for a distance of 1200 kilometers. So the answer is 100 liters. Question 9. A garrison of 1200 men has provisions for 15 days. How long will the provisions last if the garrison be increased by 600 men? What is a garrison? It's a group of soldiers who are asked to be in a particular place to defend that place. So this will be a group of soldiers. Now how many men were there in that garrison? There were 1200 men. And they had provisions. Provisions are food and other things that are needed for them to carry on with their daily life. So they had provisions for 15 days. So 1200 men had enough provisions which could last for 15 days. Now how long will the provisions last if the garrison be increased by 600 men? That means first you had 1200 men. Suppose we add 600 more men. How long will these provisions last? That is the question. So here we're talking about time. So let's start by saying what's given to us. Number of days of provisions for 1200 men is given to us. So if there are 1200 men, the provisions will last for 15 days. Now we have to add 600 more to this and then find. So before that, first we have to find number of days of the same provisions if there is only one man. So suppose you have only one man, number of days of provisions for that man. Okay, so here for 1200 men, they finish it off in 15 days. But if there's only one man, he can use it for many more days, isn't it? So we can multiply these two. So that is 15 into 1200. Let's multiply 1200 into 15. 0, 0, 5 2s are 10, carry 1, 5 1s are 5 plus 1, 6. Second step, 0, 0, 2, 1. Add it up, 0, and then we have 6 plus 2 is 8, and here 1, 18,000. So we have 18,000. That means if one man is there alone, he can keep it for 18,000 days. Whereas If there are 1,200 men, they can use it up in 15 days, it will get over. But if a man is all by himself, he can keep it for so many days. Now the question is, if you increase this by 600 men. So first we had 1,200 men. Now we're going to increase it by 600. So that is going to be 0, 2 plus 6 is 8, 1,800 men. So number of days of provisions for 1,800 men. For one man, it's going to last for so many days. But if you're having 1,800 men, it's not going to last for so many days. It's going to finish off very fast, isn't it? So that means it's going to be less. Let's divide 18,000 divided by 1,800. So let's put it in the form of a fraction. So always when you put it in the form of a fraction, it becomes easier because we can cancel a lot of things. Okay, so here let's cancel what we can. There are two zeros, cancel two zeros. 180 divided by 18. 18 ones are 18, here also 18 ones are 18 and 0. 18 tens are 180. So can you see only 10 days? The answer is 10 by 1, which is 10. That means the number of days of provisions for 1,800 men is only 10 days. Okay, they can use it only for 10 days. After 10 days, it will get over because there are so many people. So our answer here is 10 days. Question 10. A camp has provisions for 60 pupils. Pupils means students for 18 days. In how many days the same provisions will finish off if the strength of the camp is increased to 72 pupils? So, if there are 60 pupils, they will use up the provisions in 18 days. But if the number increases, what happens? So here they are asking us how many days. So let's start by writing number of days of provision for 60 pupils, which is already given to us, is 18. So let's write it's 18. So for 60 pupils, it's 18. First, we need to find for one pupil. So for 60 pupils, it will last only for 18 days. But instead of 60, if you have only one student, one pupil, it will last for many days, the same provision, isn't it? That means we multiply 18 into 60 because it's more. It will last for more days, so we multiply 18 into 60. So let's do that. 18 into 60. Let's multiply and see. 18 into 60, 0. Then 6 8s are 48, carry 4. 6 1s are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So can you see? The number has increased. That means if it is only one student, the provisions will last for 1,080 days. So many days it will last because there's only one student. Now the question is, suppose you increase it to 72 students. How long will that same provision last? So if you increase it to 72, it's going to be less. It's going to finish off very fast. For one student, it takes so many days, but for 72 pupils, it's going to finish very fast. So it's division. So let's divide 1,080 by 72. So let's do this division and see. So 1,080 divided by 72. Now let's take 108. 72 ones are 72 minus 8 minus 2 is 6, and here we need to borrow. So this is 0, this is 10. 10 minus 7 is 3, you bring down 0. Now 72 into 5 is 360. So minus, now what is our quotient? Our quotient is 15. So our answer here is 15. And what have we found? We have found the number of days of provisions for 72 pupils. So if you have 72 pupils, the provisions will last only for 15 days. So this is our answer, 15 days. Question 11. With the uniform speed of 27 km per hour, a vehicle runs for 1 hour 40 minutes. That means there is a vehicle running, and what is the speed of that vehicle? 27 kilometers per hour. That's a uniform speed. It's running at that same speed. It's covering a distance. How long did it take? It took 1 hour and 40 minutes. Now we have to find out how much time will it take to cover the same distance with the speed of 30 kilometers per hour. So if we increase the speed, how long will it take to cover that same distance? That is the question. Let's begin by saying time taken when the speed is 27 kilometers per hour. It's given to us 1 hour 40 minutes. This is already given to us. Now let's convert 1 hour 40 minutes to minutes. There are 2 units, so it's better to convert it to 1 unit. So let's convert. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So we already have 60 here for instead of this. Now 40 minutes, let's add 40 to this. Add up 40 minutes. So here what do we get? 0, 6 plus 4 is 10, 100 minutes. So 1 hour 40 minutes is 100 minutes. So now let's read the statement once more. So the time taken when speed is 27 km per hour is 100 minutes. Now, how much of time will it take if the speed is increased to 30 kilometers? So first, we have to find out the time taken for 1 kilometer instead of 27. Now we're going to write 1. Time taken when speed is 1 kilometer. Now, when it is 20 kilometers, it's going at a constant speed. It's a good speed. But 1 kilometer is very, very slow, isn't it? If it's going to go at 1 kilometer per hour, it's going to be slow. That means we're going to take more time. For 27 kilometers, we took 1 hour 40 minutes, that's 100 minutes. For 1 kilometer, we're going to take a lot of time because it's going very slowly. That means we have to multiply 100 into 27. So let's do that. 100 into 27. So that will be 2700 minutes. So can you see? If it's going very slowly, how long we will take? We will take 2700 minutes if it's going only at 1 kilometer per hour. Now we are going to find for 30 kilometers per hour. So for 1 kilometer it took so long. If it's going to increase, if the speed is going to increase, we are going to reach quickly. We're going to take very little time. So that means we have to divide 2700 divided by 30. So 2700 divided by 30. So let's do that. 2700, we're putting it in the form of a fraction. Now you can do normal division if you want to. Now here 3 9s are 27 and the 0. So this is 90 minutes. So for 27 kilometers per hour, it took 100 minutes. For 1 kilometer per hour, it took 2700 minutes. Now for 30 kilometers per hour, it's going to finish faster. They're going to finish in 90 minutes. Now let's convert this back to hours and minutes since it's given to us in the question. Now how do we convert this? Now 60 minutes make 1 hour. So 90 minutes will be 90 divided by 60. So let's divide 90 by 60. We're going to divide 90 by 60. 61s are 60. Minus 0, 9 minus 6 is 3. So in the quotient we have 1 and in the remainder we have 30. So 1 will be hours. So this will be the hour and this will be the minutes. So how long did it take? It took 1 hour and 30 minutes. 30 minutes. So this is our answer. The time taken when the speed is increased to 30 kilometers per hour, in 1 hour 30 minutes, they were able to complete that distance. So this is our answer. Question 12. A fort has provisions for 300 men for 70 days. Now what is a fort? Now this is a building that protects one whole city from the enemies. In the olden days, they used to have forts. Okay. So inside this fort, there were 300 men and they had provisions for 70 days. Now for how many days will the same provisions be sufficient for 250 men? Now if there are 300 men, it's going to last for 70 days. Now the question is, for how many days will it last if the number of men is 250? Assume that in each case, for each man in both the cases, that they consume the same amount of provisions. So we have to keep this in mind, otherwise the answers will be different. Okay. So each man will consume the same amount of provisions. All of them are going to take it equally. So now let's begin. We are asked to find how many days. So let's write number of days of provisions for 300 men, which is already given to us, is 70. So 300 men, it's 70. How many days will it take for 250 men? First, we have to find for one man. So number of days of provisions for one man. 300 men will finish it off in 70 days. If there's only one man and so much of provisions, he can use it for many more days. So that means this is multiplication. 70 into 300. So let's multiply 70 into 300. So multiply 7 into 3. 7 threes are 21. Now count the zeros. 1, 2, 3. Add the zeros. So let's add the zeros. So that's 21,000 days. So can you see, if there's only one man, he can use it for so many days. Now we have to find for 250 men. So number of days of provisions for 250 men. For one man, it is 21,000 days. So if there are 250 men, it's going to finish up very fast because they're going to use up all that provision. Here it's only one man. So he could use it for so many days. So when there are more men, they will not be able to keep it for so many days. They will finish it early. So it is division. So 21,000 divided by 250. So let's do that division. 21,000 divided by 250. Cancel the zeros. Now we can reduce it to the lowest term or divide 2,100 by 25. Okay, let's do this. 2,100 by 25. Now 21 is small, so we take 210. 25 eighths are 200. Minus 0, 1, bring down, we have 100. 25 into 4 is 100. So that's minus, so we have zeros. So here 84. So we've got our answer as 84. So what is our answer? The number of days of provisions for 250 men. So if you have 250 men, you're going to have the provisions only for 84 days. So this is our answer. They will finish the provisions in 84 days. So with this, children, we come to the end of this exercise. Thank you, children.